A man with a plan made up 95 theses to express the church's inadequate stinky.
The church developed two centers of power in our Avignon and Rome.
They disagreed with each other, eventually split and had different popes/brothers.
That was the great schism.
Both popes wanted to gain power and kept on excommunicating people who stepped onto the other church.
The Christians got confused and doubted the church.
The king needed money to help construct a building and needed it quick.
He needed to find a way to get money from his people. That was hard to resist.
He found a way to make money that the people thought they were getting something in return.
He authorized the sale of indulgences.
Basically, wealthy people could commit sins, pay a fine, and be forgiven for the crime.
Peasants believed that Martin Luther's ideas of individual freedom meant that their protests had God's best support.
Johann Gutenberg invented the printing press.
Translated Bibles to people's vernaculars.
The printing press made it easier for everyone to have a Bible in their own home because it was much less expensive.
This meant that people could interpret the Bible for themselves.
A man with a plan made up 95 theses to express the church's inadequate stinky.
He came by night and nailed his papers to the cold, pale porch door.
His name was Martin Luther. He was sentenced to death, but people supported him and hid him in a tower.
But after he died, his ideas began to spread, which he once said, and that, my friend, started the Reformation.
John Calvin was a French reformer who interpreted the Bible in his own way to make Calvinism, which was a type of Protestantism.
He argued that you could not earn salvation. He believed that God had chosen you for salvation even before you were born. This is called predestination. Calvin himself thought that predestination was awful to think about.
John Wycliffe was a philosopher and priest born in England who called for church reform. He questioned the Pope's rights to levy taxes and to appoint church officials without the king's approval.
A man with a plan made up 95 theses to express the church's inadequate thinking.
The church tried to counter Reformation, but they could not defeat the reformers. They had to face it. Many people were now reformed. Not everyone was Catholic, and there was Protestantism, Lutheranism, Calvinism, and much, much more.
A scientific revolution began. People like Newton, Galileo, and Copernicus began to change the world. They began to study things such as gravity, the universe, and the human body.
Just like the Bible, people could use microscopes and telescopes to study things for themselves and have their own opinions. They could use the scientific method. People could form a hypothesis, do an experiment, and form a conclusion and still go to heaven. This is our Reformation Rap 2007.
Yeah!
Akon.